Lobster fishermen between Shelburne and Digby County will have to wait a little longer to set their traps. Weather continues to make it unsafe. While the season for the area from Cow Bay to Shelburne County is underway and landings are now coming ashore. Dan Fleck is manager of the Brazil Rock Lobster Association. Sir, let's start with the latest impact that the weather is having on dumping day or opening day. Some are out on the water, some are not. What can you tell us?
In LFA 34, which extends from Barrington Bay to Eastern Passage just outside of Dartmouth, they enjoy a 2-day flexibility. So if they have good weather a day or two before dumping day, the traditional day, Monday, they can set. And they chose to set on Sunday because it was a nice day, and they set their gear on Sunday. LFA 34 decided to not participate in the 2-day flexibility, so they are still tied up. And there's another preseason weather phone call tomorrow morning at 7 to see if the weather is going to be okay for Friday or perhaps Saturday. Saturday's looking like the safest day right now.
Yeah, so maybe the weekend they get out. What's it been like for those fishermen who lost a lot of gear during the wildfire? You and I have talked about that over recent months. Will they be fishing? Are they out fishing?
Yes, they are out fishing. I'm just looking today, and I believe it's just about 6 months since we experienced the wildfire in Shelburne County. And yeah, those captains are out there. They've gathered gear, they've purchased gear. There were gear donations, there were contributions and purchases at a great expense. But yes, sir, they are in the water in LFA 33 fishing.
And how are they doing in terms of managing or navigating what possible compensation might be out there for their lost traps and their gear?
Well, recently the provincial government announced a disaster financial assistance program, which makes those captains eligible for each individual to be eligible to receive up to $200,000 for their lost fishing gear, not just lobster gear, but all of the gear that they lost. They're out there. They've gathered up the equipment. They're doing the best they can, but it's been a stressful time. It would have been beneficial if this announcement would have come a few months ago, because fishing is a stressful occupation. There's a lot on their mind. They're trying to make a go of it. They're out there. It's still rough weather, and now to have this administrative burden, yes, they're thankful to be eligible for it, but it could have come at an earlier time rather than have this all heaped on them right now.
Yeah, and so how's the paperwork going for them?
Well, they had gathered up all of the quotes and estimates of the gear that they had lost, and recently we've been approached by a couple of people in the community, one being an accountant and another one being a retired author who has a summer cottage in the area, who has volunteered or offered to take on that administrative burden for these captains and complete that monumentous task of completing all that paperwork for them, which is very kind of them, and it's greatly appreciated.
They found someone who likes to do paperwork.
They said they're good at it, they've done a lot of it, and they're willing to help these captains.
Okay, we'll see how that goes. I'm sure they are relieved to have some help. It does seem like the start of this fishing season has been a little bit unlike others. I mean, in terms of dealing with the setbacks from the wildfires, of course, now the weather. How does this one stack up?
Well, the preseason weather call that each port or cluster of ports, group of ports, have a port representative that is part of the advisory process with Department of Fisheries and Oceans. So they participate in these meetings throughout the year, and they do these preseason weather calls. And it's for safety. It has nothing to do with the best fishing day down the road or price or anything else. It's for safety, to get that gear in the water and everyone back to shore as safe as possible. And it's worked well over the years.
I know safety front and center for sure. You mentioned price there as well. No indication of what you might be receiving at this point. What can you say about the current market out there right now?
The demand for Canadian lobsters is strong. We're hearing that the catches, it's still very preliminary to say what the catch rates are in 33, but the catches are down from what we've heard. But we just had a full moon last night. The tides are running strong, and we have had some strong winds the last few days. So fingers are crossed, and we're hopeful that the poor catches are going to rebound. But
Yep.
right now, they're down substantially in LFA 33.
All right, let's hope things go well and 34 gets out there. Dan Fleck, manager of the Brazil Rock Lobster Association, thank you very much.
You're welcome anytime, always here.